allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. So let's discuss our superintendent search. Where are we, Kim?
Well, I think that we would like approval to begin a superintendent search in very short order.
Oh, okay.
So we would need to discuss approving a timeline for a search and approval of using an independent consultant for said search to assist in our process. So the first thing would be a motion to open up an official superintendent search to replace Superintendent Vaughn.
Okay, so I would accept the motion to begin the process.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Do we have an independent consultant that
We
is
do,
available?
so I would have asked and received availability, if you are so willing, that Dr. Jarvis would act as an independent consultant for the district.
Are we considering Mike Nelson or someplace else in
It would be
addition?
Dr.
or-
Jarvis and Associates.
Okay. Very good.
And
There you
we are
go.
able to, yes,
I love
bring
it.
along.
And, yeah, we're not sure where we're at. Yeah, who's
So
coming
it's a
with
matter
it?
of timing.
Yeah,
Cool.
somebody.
Very good. Okay.
That being, that would be my biggest question. So knowing that we had
Yes.
someone, an independent consultant in place.
Yeah. No, that's much better than the company approach. So, excellent. Okay. Any more questions or discussion?
Well, are we gonna talk about this?
So we have to after we have to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
So let's finish the
Start the
motion,
search.
go out for the superintendent search.
We have to vote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, any more discussion? Okay. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please signify by saying no. All right. Process has begun.
So step 2 then,
Timeline.
for your review is a timeline for the search. So we would actually begin as soon as we are done here.
Mhm.
I will open up the job posting. Brochures, announcements, everything will go out in the morning. So there is an initial brochure in front of you. Any changes or additions that you would like, you would have an opportunity to look it over this evening and let me know. Allison has been working very hard on that. She's
Yeah.
Yes, thank you,
quick in her
Allison.
turnaround.
Thank you, thank you.
Then we will also begin some targeted recruitment tomorrow. Have an initial report to the board by mid-April. Begin preparing for interviews by mid-April. Yes.
Can you tell me what targeted recruitment looks like?
So based on some of the initial feedback from the board on those qualities that you were looking for in a superintendent, Dr. Jarvis has begun assembling a small list of people that he knows that would be in other districts that we can reach out to and ask if they are interested in applying for the position, as well as opening it up broadly.
Okay.
So the application deadline would actually be April 23rd. So it is a short timeline, but I do believe that those people interested in moving at this time already have their materials together and are ready to go at this time of the year. Then on April 30th, we would have an executive session to go over the screening report and to pare down and pick your semifinalists. Semifinalist interviews would be held with the board on May 8th, with an executive session to follow. To whittle that down to your final 2 or 3, depending on the board's meeting. Do those interviews one day per candidate the following week, and you will be able to officially pick a superintendent by May 15th. And then that would give a full month of transition, the superintendent bar and the incoming superintendent.
So, and then we would probably stream the community, is that what you're thinking?
There will be portions of the community day that we would stream. We would stream the entire day.
No.
The evening session is generally one that is screened to the public for them to watch.
So I'm trying to remember here. right now in phase 3, can we have a gathering like that up to 100 people?
We could do it in the auditorium. The tricky part is if there are more than 100 that want to attend, how do you decide who gets to and who does not?
Yeah.
Yeah, and also, I'd like, I mean, are we gonna be able to do all stakeholders? Are they gonna be student and staff?
We just have to keep the group small enough to provide a space to hold them, but there's no reason why we can't do that
I would like
in
to
person and say.
And we could do
make
that,
sure that we do that.
Yes.
like in the past, we've had the community forum, staff
Yes.
forum, the student day, we took
Through that
each
whole day,
around.
yeah.
Okay.
So as long as we continue that, I think that
If
would
you
be
guys like the way we did it last time, I
Yeah.
still have that, kind of that timeline
perfect.
Well, it worked out
and all
well,
my
so yeah.
stuff. So,
Yeah, that would be
once they're
great.
getting rid of stuff, and I'm going, I'm gonna hang on to this one. So, yeah,
Good plan.
and then we can kind of figure out how to squeeze everything. That's what you were saying earlier, how do we squeeze it in, but we've done it before, so.
Will Dr. Jarvis be helping us forming those questions? Part of it?
Actually, I already has, so
Oh,
we're already
cool.
sitting in a folder at my desk.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not
So
the first
I'll-
time he's done
I
this.
will drop
Yeah.
everything into a folder for you all to look over, decide if there are any additions, deletions that you want to make to those questions.
And then, will he be moderating the community forum?
He will not, because he's actually out of town. I'm sorry, I was thinking of the 8th. He's out of town the 8th. He can be there.
For the 11th, 12th, and 15th?
Yes.
I just feel like we need a moderator for that.
Yeah.
So
And
we
if you
be
can,
observers.
if you want to be the associate.
Correct.
can do that. Okay.
Yeah, whatever.
And so just for the purposes of everybody understanding what's going on, we would have student forum, and if there's more than 100, it could be live streamed from the auditorium, same with the staff as well as the community. So we'll just have in-person and live stream, that way it's really a hybrid of both and more access for everyone. But I think live is really, for me, that's important.
Oh, yeah.
I really like to see the interaction. Absolutely.
The selection of the candidate that we're going to be interviewing, that's going to be a process that Dr. Jarvis and his associates will be funneling through, right? Meaning
Yes.
that they will review the candidate's resume and
And it had also been my intention to start a shared Google Drive where I can put those applications in as they're coming. So if you have nothing better to do on an evening and would like to dive in ahead of time, that you can see what's coming as it comes.
Yes,
But
I
we
was
would
gonna
all
say
like
that
to
would be
dive into
something
that
that-
early so we
Yeah.
can keep this moving.
right.
Yeah, we want to keep within this
Yeah.
timeline.
And it would be good to see all the applications, not just the
Yes.
one that they're.
I agree.
It will be nice to have some filter up front though. I mean, gosh, when we hired Preston, would we go through like 20 applicants
A
that
lot.
day down at Sunrise Conference Room? I mean, that was a day. It's a lot of chaff. So of course, we've got much more targeted audience this time too.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
it would be good to see all the applications.
I agree.
Well, and it's also helpful if you know of somebody and their application hasn't come in, then I can certainly reach out and say they were hoping to see yours, are you interested in applying?
Right, and I think before I would want someone, in the past, when we met with our organizations that helped us, they met with us and found out what our priorities were, what we wanted to see, and that was really helped them focus on that filtering process. So having that opportunity with Dr. Jarvis, virtually or in person would be fabulous, unless we are going to be the ones that filter. I don't want to hand that over to somebody else until we've had
Yeah.
a deep
Be certainly
conversation.
willing to meet.
Okay.
So then I would ask for approval of the timeline.
So
Just
just
changes.
Lisa wasn't here, but
Oh.
my daughter's getting married on the 29th,
Oh, yes.
and we're traveling on the 30th. So it would have to be an evening on the 30th, an
Oh, I
evening conversation that I could zoom in. Would you check your calendar and see?
Yes. I will make, I'll clear my calendar.
I would clear most things, but this is one of those things.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Plan a long
Sure.
time. in advance.
Yes, yes. You can't exactly adjust that.
Actually, the only thing I have is women in leadership, and that's in the morning, so.
So
I'm
the
available
evening would
evening.
work on the
Yes.
30th? Okay, and then how about on the 8th, in the morning, like 7:30, 8 a.m.?
Oh, that's
That's gonna be during the
the 8th,
Oh, yeah,
which is Saturday.
How long is it? Is that gonna be all day then?
That's probably gonna be an all day.
yeah, it
Okay.
was,
Which one's that?
Interviewing the
Yeah.
multiple candidates, preliminary interviews. for all
Preliminary.
I'll make
candidates.
that,
Want to make sure it's not.
Right.
That might be done.
That's a Saturday.
are you
Well,
available
I'm
maybe?
hosting a wedding at 2:00, so. But it's not my daughter's wedding, so there's some flexibility there.
So maybe 8 to 1:30?
If we can, we'll see how many candidates we
How
have.
many
Yeah, I
candidates?
mean,
Yeah.
if
You
we
might
get
be able to
four, it
screen them.
might be, if we have
Yeah.
7 or 8.
Unless we
go
could
all
do
day.
some on Friday, some on Saturday, or,
Friday and
evening.
Saturday, instead, but Sunday is Mother's Day, isn't it? May 9th?
probably. Yeah, that would not be a good form.
No. And that's also my birthday. But I would celebrate my birthday with you guys, because I have nothing else to do.
So could we add in here a
Mark that down.
possible Friday, the 7th in the evening, depending on the number of candidates that we choose?
Right.
And timeline, that way it's approved, we don't have to do any
Yes.
amendments.
And then we want to make sure then that May 11th through the 13th, that we're all available that those
And I
days,
am clear those days.
final interviews.
I'm working the 12th, but that's enough time. I can wiggle out of that.
We have, I have on my calendar, a diversity and equity professional development meeting that night. On the
Yes,
12th.
we do.
Do we need to reschedule that?
Reschedule.
I would like to
We need
reschedule.
that. That's
We
too
need to-
much,
I would like
yeah,
to.
that's
Too
too
much.
much.
I'll get it rescheduled. And they're gonna be here Wednesday with you guys, maybe
Or
you guys
remember.
can talk about it then, or I can leave a note too. I'll put it in their ear that you guys need to talk about rescheduling. That was the May 12th, right?
Yes.
And then May 15th, we will, is that us, the
Yes.
contract negotiations with the
Do we need to have a meeting around that, or is that individual? How does that, what does that day look like?
It is up to how we would like to proceed. There are instances in which we have a contract ready to hand to the candidate that they accept or not, or you can negotiate with the candidate, whatever your preference would be.
I was kind of envisioning
uniform.
whoever wants to be involved. I mean, if everybody wants to be there, I was kind of thinking of a prepared starting point, like this
Yes.
is what we're thinking, and let's start
Okay.
And then
finagling and
negotiate
Yeah.
from there.
I don't anticipate that it would be an incredibly long process, but as we had discussed, the fact that we have an opportunity to be creative in our contract to find a best fit for Eatonville, we will want some time to do that.
any other questions or discussion about the timeline?
So the announcement will be made at a meeting on the 15th. It looks like.
Is that
So,
something we can add as a timeline for the announcement?
yes,
Because I think for the community, they're probably gonna want to know when the announcement is.
But once
Well,
we have this timeline,
I think-
approved, I'll have everything on.
Yeah, and I think one thing we need to be mindful of is that Dr. Jarvis will need to be able to contact the other candidates to make sure, before we make formal announcements. So that
Yes.
might have to be kind of fluid, maybe depending on availability.
Well, I'm just kind of thinking about what Peninsula School District did, is they already have a timeline for when they're going to announce who the new superintendent is. Not that I'm copying that, I'm just saying that by that time, there should be.
and it
That's
would be
what we were
perfectly acceptable to announce, say, in the morning of the 15th,
Okay,
and then bring the candidate in, finalize contract
Beautiful.
negotiations, and tell
Okay.
them after
Okay,
that.
so a meeting, a special meeting in the morning of the 15th.
that's May 15th is
Saturday.
Saturday. And Jeff, we're not all required to be in that announcement, right? You just send the contract over.
Oh, you have to vote. You
Oh,
have to do
then
a
we
roll
have,
call
okay,
vote.
then we need to all be there. Okay.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Which day is that?
May the 15th.
Saturday.
Okay, approve that night. What, okay, there we go. So we need 3 of us.
Yeah, for that morning, yeah.
So did we approve a motion to approve the timeline?
But no,
No, okay. All right, so any more discussion on the timeline?
we've already done discussion.
I do have a question, sorry.
That's what we're,
The final reference check, it doesn't seem that we have enough time between the final reference check and the contract negotiations. Just in case one of the reference is questionable, do we still need to move forward? I mean,
Well, is this set in stone? I mean, if we need to amend the timeline, we can say, well, we're gonna wait for just a minute and not announce.
okay, I just want to
We can
make
do
sure,
that,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
yeah, I mean, I imagine there's lots of things that could interject at any time
Yeah.
there.
And then we can, okay.
So my experience on our last couple of, well, that's of course a professional, but my experience on my last couple of opportunities to interview superintendents is, once we get down to that 5, we're each taking a candidate and we're each going out and we're doing our own due diligence. And then, we could do multiple, but it worked great when each of us took a candidate and started making calls and then tier calls. So that we had, and then we reported back to each other. That way, there's a lot of that groundwork done. Then when it comes down to the 3, then we can rotate and we can each take a different set of calls. It's important for me to be part of that process and feel like I'm making a good choice.
Yeah.
I thought it was really valuable in my past
Yes,
experience.
it worked well.
I really like that.
It works very
And we're
well.
all involved, so, yeah.
Anything else? All right, then I would accept a motion to approve the superintendent search timeline as presented.
So moved.
Second. Moved and second. Any further discussion? Okay, seeing hearing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please signify by saying no. Okay, your timeline is passed.
No, you still have to, they have to approve going out with Dr. Jarvis and associates. Oh, wait,
Well, I wasn't
No.
sure, it had been part of the discussion for,
Yeah, we've been
First motion,
discussing,
so I
so we
wasn't
did the
sure if it
super,
was-
going out for superintendent, and we did the timelines, and then we need to see who we're gonna do it. And then I
Okay.
think we've got it.
Okay, so I would accept the motion to approve the hiring of Dr. Art Jarvis and Associates to lead our superintendent search.
So moved.
Second.
Moving second, any discussion? Okay, seeing and hearing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please signify by saying no. All right, motion is approved. We've dotted all the i's and crossed all the t's.
we have.
Okay, very good. And let's,
I'm ready. I'll wait till you're on this.
no, I think where we
No, we're
can
done.
talk about anything, so.
So will this be posted on WASA, our
Yes.
website?
Yes, all
All
of
of
that.
those
So
Paper.
if you look at the final page of the brochure is an application procedure. So the brochure and the form will be posted for everybody to access.
Mhm.
This takes the place of what would normally be through Ed Jobs for all of our applicants. It has the disclosure questions that we have to have by law. So that's the only reason for that separate little billable application form. And then they will send all application materials directly to the student office.
But where would it be posted? So
WASA,
WASA.
WASDA, on our website, you know, all the acronyms, usual acronyms. we
Like
look at as
TM.
well.
as well. Okay.
And so anyone who wants an application will request one from you. It
Correct.
won't just be a download and turn it.
Correct.
Okay, so you'll have a heads up of kind of our candidates.
Very good. And again, this came at a please read the brochure, and if
I
you
did.
do have problems, changes, let's let Kim
Right
know,
away.
like tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. So,
So do you want the changes now? Because there's some
Yes.
things that I probably would like.
yeah,
Let's
if
hear
there's
it.
something you
Let's
know,
talk about it.
absolutely.
Yeah, let's.
So I'll start with the opportunities. I think there's just some comma, grammar things that need to be changed. So the third bullet in the opportunities. So it would be unified, collaborative, collaborative, and distributed instructional leadership team.
New,
Yeah,
us
they-
oldie moldy.
Yeah, they
didn't
changed
have
it
that.
to new purview.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
changed it, so now those commas go in, but it didn't.
Oh,
used to.
okay.
It's
So-
optional.
I thought that was right.
And then
Yeah.
at the end of that, continue the district's innovative STEM, or is it innovative, STEM?
Yeah, that's right. Innovative STEM and green initiatives.
Well, I think if you leave the comma in, then you're capturing all of the innovative programs and not just the
Correct.
STEM.
Yeah,
So
So
it
I
would
would,
be,
because we're an
It would
innovative
be-
school district.
okay.
Yes.
So we're innovative school district, we have a STEM program in STEM schools, and we have brain initiatives. So,
We're innovative, and then we have STEM.
Yeah.
So
They're
those
two
are
different-
two different
yes,
things.
they're two different categories.
Correct, so
Okay,
there should be, okay, so that's comma there.
That comma is
All right.
appropriate, yes.
Okay. And then I would recommend to change the word problems to challenges.
Where?
In the professional qualifications, the first bullet, sorry. Instead of saying approaches problems, because it has that negative connotation on that one, it would be approaches challenges as opportunities. And at the very end of that bullet, fiscal leader who will actively pursue multiple funding streams instead of streams opportunities would be my recommendation.
Can you say that again?
Opportunities at the end instead of streams.
Okay.
Those are my only recommendations.
Very good. Okay, have we got no problem?
any other questions?
So we're scanning real quick here.
What we didn't have in was the meeting with Dr. Jarvis to talk about what we want. I know you have to talk to him and find out.
Yes, we don't have a date yet.
Don't have a date, so you'll get back to us
Yes.
with that. Excellent. Thank you.
Okay, so that sounds good. So let's adjourn this meeting at 17:11. Tyler, we're all done. Thank you for your help. Thank you.